attitude of the follower depends in this process of Krishna consciousness, that what our intentions are. Do we really want to know Krishna? If we really have desire in our hearts to serve Krishna, to do something for our self realization, then Krishna, by the grace of Krishna, uh, Krishna will arrange a sincere spiritual master for that particular person. But if anyone who wants to get cheated, then Krishna will send a cheater for him. So, this is what we were discussing in our previous class. And this is actually going on. For those who do not want to understand Krishna as he is, but want to understand by dint of their own imperfect vision, Krishna, God, remains unknown. The whole process is to accept Krishna and his instructions and therefore to render devotional service unto him. So, the purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita is that one will become devotee of Krishna if he has really read Bhagavad Gita. If he is really understanding Bhagavad Gita, then he will definitely become devotee of Krishna. So this whole process of Krishna consciousness is what? That you become more and more Krishna conscious. By accepting Krishna, by accepting instructions of Krishna. And what are the instructions of Krishna? That you serve him. You render your devotional services unto him. It is Srimati Radharani who is the very embodiment of perfect devotional service. In the Brahma Samhita, Radharani is described as Krishna's expansion of his spiritual potency. Srimati Radharani is the spiritual potency of Sri Krishna, and she is the great devotee of Krishna. Light is low because there are no lights, but let's continue our discussion. Yes, so Srimati Radharani is the greatest devotee of Sri Krishna. She never forgets Krishna. Never. Not even for milliseconds. She always remembers Krishna. She is a great devotee of Krishna. The gopis who tend Radha and Krishna are not ordinary women or girls. They are expansions of Krishna's pleasure potency. So those are the expansions of Srimati Radharani. Radharani. Radharani and the gopis should never be accepted as ordinary women. Indeed, to understand their position, we need the guidance of a spiritual master. If we living entities want to actually associate with Radharani, that may be possible. That may be possible, although she is not an ordinary woman. We can become associates of Radharani by qualifying ourselves in advanced devotional service. So one should understand this thing, that whatever Leelas of Sri Krishna that you might have heard, Ras Leela, which Krishna do with gopis, then one should understand this thing, that those gopis are not ordinary women. Basically, we should not compare all these things with this material world. Whatever these Ras Leela and all, you might have heard, we should not compare these with this material world, because this material world is just a reflection of the spiritual world. So one can only understand it when he get advanced in his devotional service. then only he become qualified in understanding these things. Otherwise, he will end up speculating it, and he will basically end up comparing these pastimes with this material world, which is really not the right way to understand. And that's why it is not recommended to read such pastimes of Krishna in beginning. One should has to be very much qualified, very much advanced in his spiritual activities to understand these pastimes of Sri Krishna. In devotional service, there is no frustration. Even if we perform only a small amount, it will grow. This you can definitely you can relate with this. Yesterday only Prabhuji was explaining this thing that the time we are serving Krishna, we are free from all the frustrations, all the anxieties, all the stress at that moment. Basically, one should understand that whatever we are doing which is not related to Krishna, that is the reason of our frustration. So, what is intelligence? That we should save ourselves to not indulge ourselves in those activities which are not in connection to Krishna. Because we don't want frustrations, we don't want anxiety. So we should always try to save ourselves in engaging ourselves in those activities which are not in connection to Krishna. Because that will be the reason of frustration only. But in devotional service, which we do for Krishna, there is no frustration. Even a small activity, whatever, even a small service we do, that can be anything, but that will be very pleasing. This is really amazing thing that earlier when I used to do something, when I was not in Krishna consciousness, so I used to feel this thing that I am actually wasting my time. Wasting in sense that time is passing. I am growing, means I'm getting older day by day. Now there will be a time when my old age will come and this whole life will go away. It will be just spent in all these things. Means I was feeling this thing that I'm wasting my time. But now, whatever we are doing in relation to Krishna, we are actually investing our time. So, this is really, really amazing that even if you are doing any ordinary thing, if you're like whatever ordinary thing, but you can hear Krishna Katha side by side, then also you are actually investing your time, you are utilizing your time. It is not going vain, it is not going waste. So, this is really very amazing that whatever you do, you just do it in connection to Krishna. Prabhuji was telling that there was one devotee who was a tailor. So he used to stitch garments whole day, but side by side he used to hear Maharaj's Katha, Krishna Katha by uh, Maharaj, by spiritual master. So he's actually utilizing his whole day by hearing Krishna Katha like this. So even while you are traveling or whatever work you are doing, we can hear Katha side by side, even while doing any work. So we are actually utilizing our time that time. So this is really very amazing that whatever we do for Krishna, we are not wasting our times. And anything we are doing which is not in relation to Krishna, that is complete time waste. There is no other word. Complete time waste. And one who progress in his spiritual life, he is able to relate with this thing more and more. Devotional service is never lost. Now, this is also amazing thing that whatever you do for Krishna, it is being saved in your account for always. It is never lost. Even someone is serving Krishna, he's performing his devotional services, but eventually, if he got distracted from his whatever he's doing for Krishna, if he got distracted, and suppose if he's not able to continue his devotional services in this lifetime, then he will be able to continue it from where he left. He'll be able to continue it from his next lifetime. This is only for the service which we do for Krishna and not any other thing. Not even whatever you do for demigods. That will also be there for this lifetime only. Whatever piety you do. So this is very much important to hear. Because you see now, people are not investing, they are just putting their energy, their time in so many things which are not related to Krishna. They do lots of piety and they do whatever they do, sacrificing and all. But if they understand this thing, that if I will do it for Krishna, then what to say of their fortune? Because they are already investing their energies, their time, their money, whatever they are doing, they are already putting it. So why not to do it for someone whose benefit will be there for eternal time? That will be intelligence now. So one will only know this when he will hear it from scriptures. So devotional service is never lost. As far as material things are concerned, whatever we gain in the world will be lost when the body is finished. So whatever you have, whatever people they're just working so hard to earn this, to earn that, but it will be last long for how much time? Till they have this body. That's it. The time when this body will be finished, then all whatever they have gained will all gone. And then they will have to start with this particular thing, whatever they are doing in their next lifetime. They have to start it from very starting again. But since we are eternal spiritual sparks, our spiritual assets go with us. Spiritual assets means whatever we do for Krishna. Those are our spiritual assets, gradually fructifying. In this way, those who have previously cultivated transcendental consciousness come in contact with Krishna consciousness through this movement. One more amazing thing one should understand here, that when you tell someone about Krishna consciousness and if he has accepted the process, so possibility is there that he might not be able to do it as nicely as you are doing right now. Devotees often chant 16 rounds, they hear Krishna Katha daily, consume Krishna Prasadam. So possibility is there then that for that particular person, maybe he might also be practicing it for months now, or maybe for years. But then also, if he is not able to progress much, but then also you should appreciate him from where he from where he is. Because one should understand this thing that now he is on this path. His journey has started. His journey of Krishna consciousness has started now. So even if he is chanting, let's say, only 11 Mahamantras, but then also his journey has started now. Soon he will become a great devotee of Krishna in his future. Not if in this lifetime, maybe next lifetime. But his journey has been started, that is very important. So you should keep appreciating people, whoever accepts Krishna consciousness. Even if he is accepting Krishna consciousness, that is also not ordinary thing. Maybe he might not be able to do it very nicely. He might not be able to chant 16 rounds or whatever. He might not be able to do it perfectly now. But even if he is doing little services for Krishna, then also he is progressing. So this is takeaway from today's class, that we should always try to appreciate every person for his devotional services, whatever he do for Krishna. I'm saying this because I used to get kind of frustrated that why is he not progressing? Why is he not understanding things nicely? So one should understand this thing that everyone is not on the same level of contamination. We might hear these things often again and again, but these are really subtle points which we should remember always. So, yes, in this way, those who have previously cultivated transcendental consciousness come in contact with Krishna consciousness through this movement. So they might have performed some activities, some devotional services in their past lifetimes. That's why they are able to continue it in this lifetime. But if any person, if you see that if they are not able to progress very nicely, so they might have done little service for Krishna in their past lifetime. Interest in Krishna consciousness is not commonplace. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that out of many millions and billions of persons, only one is interested in achieving perfection. Only one. Krishna is not saying few people. Only one is interested in achieving perfection. Now see our fortunate. If we can advertise that simply by reading this book and meditating for 15 minutes, anyone can immediately get power, become successful in business, and pass his examination, many people would be attracted to the book. So basically, if they are getting any instant benefit, immediate result after following something, then you will see that there will be crowd of people who will start following you. So it's been a month, perhaps. I was little frustrated because I was trying to preach people Krishna about Krishna. So some were accepting, some were not accepting, and some who were accepting, they were doing their devotional services for a few days and they were just leaving. So I was kind of stressed that why is this happening like this? Why is it happening like this? Am I not able to preach people nicely? So I was kind of stressed about this thing. So I asked my counselor about this. So she was telling me the same thing, that we should not focus on grabbing crowd of people. Very amazing example she was giving, that Prabhuji, he have been giving classes from 15 to 20 years now. But then also you will see there are only 60 to 70 people who come in class in 15 to 20 years. Only 60 to 70 people are coming. Why? Because interest in Krishna consciousness is not commonplace. It is not like ordinary thing. People have to have so much of patience to follow this path, because they will not get immediate result after following this path. Immediate means they will not immediately become a great devotee. Are you getting this thing? Even devotees who are following this process, they may also think that this process is working very slow. We have been practicing Krishna consciousness from years now, who have been practicing from years. But then also, they might think that this process is working very slow. But it's not like that. It is like, it is natural that Krishna does not reveal himself very soon, very early. It is a gradual process. So one need to have patience to follow this process. So yes, what I'm trying to tell here, that when she told me this example, so one should understand this thing, that people will come and go, but people who are interested, you should give your complete focus to them. Means you should help them as much as you can, so that they may progress in their bhakti life. Just like Prabhupada is giving example here, that if we can advertise that simply by reading this book and meditating for 15 minutes, anyone can immediately get power. So means you will immediately get some superficial powers or some kind of energy immediately. Then you will see that there will be numbers, like crowd of people who will start following you. If you will give them something like this. There was one person, he was telling me the same thing, that you tell me something which may give me immediate boost, so that I may progress in my life. I want something instant, which may work instant. So I said, I'm not any Babaji who will do some tantra mantra and you will get instant result. I was telling this thing to him, that Krishna consciousness is something in which person have to keep patience to keep following this process. People are not attracted to Krishna consciousness because they prefer to be cheated by Maya. So see, whatever people do in this material world, you might see this, you might relate with this, that whatever we follow, we get immediate results. And that's why people, they are able to have faith in those things. Just like, if suppose any person is diseased, if he will take what we call that, English medicines, Angrezi dawai, if he will take that, painkillers and all, so he might get instant relief from that particular medicine. But it is not working to, it is not helping him to cure his disease for always. But instead of those Angrezi medicines, if he will consume um, other medicines, what we call that, jadi booty and all, Ayurvedic medicine, something like that. So you will see these medicines, they often take time to show result, but work, they help people to cure their disease forever. So although this process of taking Ayurvedic medicines is time taking, means one have to keep patience to consume those medicines and to cure his disease. But if he is looking for immediate result, that I will eat painkillers or Angrezi dawai, whatever, I will consume that. So if he is looking for instant result, so he will not get attracted to that permanent result. So Krishna consciousness is like this only. People, because they prefer to get immediate results for whatever things they perform, that's why they are not attracted to Krishna consciousness. I hope this medicine example is cleared. You might have understand this concept with this example of medicine. They think that the perfection of life is in eating a great supply of food, or in sleeping 20 hours, or in having a new mate every night or every day. People are interested in these things but not in the perfection of life. So, this is also one thing, that they are more into gratifying their senses. Because when they gratify their senses, they get immediate result. When they are consuming some nice food, so they immediately get some satisfaction. That is false satisfaction. Or when they sleep for hours, so they immediately get some energy. So people who are after these immediate results, they will not get attracted towards this process of Krishna consciousness. This is what Srila Prabhupada ji is trying to explain here. All right. Now we will continue the rest part in our next class if Krishna is willing. We will stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.